Position. Great. I'm live. I'm working. I hope the audio works. Let me see. Let me see if the audio works. Let me quickly check the other channels. Let me check if Twitter works. Twitter stream, if it works. Let me have the audio on here. The other channels. Okay, audio works. Twitter works. Twitter stream works. Great, now I just want to do one more thing. I'm gonna add here browser new. Okay, let me just get the chat here in the corner. And let's fix that. Great. Now we're just gonna place that same thing. Wait. Studio mode. Gonna place it here. Okay. Fixed. And I'm live. I'm live. Has been a while. Man, I don't know where to start. Got prepared. Got my protein drink, my coffee. Yeah, oh, has been a while. Has been a while. There's a couple of things I want to talk today about. First and foremost about Robinhood, what has been happening. Want to talk about product updates, talk about my work routine recently, and anything where there's questions of people watching. So let me also just check Kick. I got a viewer on Kick. Thanks for watching. Great. Twitch, let me check Twitch. Oh, Thread Guy is live. Nice. Let me check here. Okay. Twitch is not working, but fuck it. Most of my views anyway come from... no, it works. Okay, most of my views anyway come from Twitter. And Twitter works. Okay. Okay. Oh, fuck. Gotta hype myself up. And yeah, where should I start? Even? Should I leave my hair open or closed? Ah, fuck it. Yeah. Gotta drink my coffee. Maybe I should yell into the microphone like Thread Guy. Graham, Robinhood bots. I'm just making a small list. Robinhood bots. Also, please, just, you know, like in the chat, react and interact with me. It makes it easier for me to, you know, communicate and, you know, see what you're gonna wanna ask. Bullpen. My work routine. Okay, I'm hyped, I'm ready, and I got things to talk about with you guys. So, first of all, maybe I should start with what I'm most bullish on, and this is Graham. So, I'm a big fan of getting positioned and aping into things that are a bit undervalued and under talked about and under highlighted, and this is definitely the situation with Graham. So for that section I will call it talking about Graham. I just got updated my setup here, so you can see every time I have my overlay setup is now amazing. Also my streaming setup amazing now. So let me, where's my fucking camera switch to the screen share? Let's go to screen sharing. So yeah, there has been, if you're not aware yet of it, Graham is now Ton. So Ton, the Ton chain, Ton blockchain, the Telegram blockchain, the open network has rebranded to Graham, and this has been happening. I think this happened like less than a month ago. When did this happen? Nah, longer than a month ago. 15th June. So yeah, that's like almost 1 month ago since the rebranding. And since then, it pretty much just went sideways, as we can see here. And this big spike was when the Pavel Durov takeover was, and Telegram officially announced that they will come in and, you know, jump in on taking over the development and becoming the biggest validator on Graham. Much didn't happen since this announcement, and I guess, to be fair, 1 month for, you know, such a giant blockchain to move is not a lot of time. But I'm very, very bullish and very, very sure that, like, given the next 1 or 2 months, there will be happening a lot of things. And when we would now, you know, zoom out, and that's like where it becomes interesting. When we now zoom out, we're like literally at the bottom. We're literally at the bottom of Ton. So, and the most bullish news ever, Pavel Durov on his Telegram channel talking about it. Telegram taking it over, becoming the biggest validator, all the technical updates, it is very not priced in, because obviously we're not like, you know, in, you know, peak bull market 2024 where it all, you know, just pumped. We're not in the hamster combat times of Telegram anymore, but there's such a bright future to it. Also, they have their own native perp decks, which no one talks about. There's so much things on there happening behind the scenes that is very under-communicated, and also the perps listings that recently came for it is also not priced in. So I think this is a very cool spot to get in here, which brings me to where I position myself. So, and brings me to the next topic. The bullpen trading competition from Ansem and his product. I started doing a long on Graham. I'm currently down, as you can see. I started scalping here around, and actually for the scalping itself, I was quite good with it. Okay, I think a 5-minute chart is too short. Let me find a 15 maybe. Why is it not loading? I was quite good with scalping, buying low, selling high, buying low, selling high. Obviously, that's a bit gambling here, but I like to scalp because it gives me a feeling, or like it like increases my like gut feeling, or like, you know, you gotta kind of, it always comes down to a gut feeling after all. And I feel like when you scalp, you kind of develop a relationship to an asset. I don't know. And it's also like a very ADHD behavior, I think, in trading, to scalp around. And that's what I did here. Buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. I was even at some point on the trading competition in the top 20. Let me check now where I'm at. Oh, nice. Ranked number 26 in a trading competition. Did I get some rewards or so? I don't know. Yeah, currently I'm down, but like, yeah, was further up. I was actually all the way somewhere up here. But yeah, coming back to Graham, I think we're still, you know, very, you know, very under, you know, the upside potential of it. And what I, you know, as stupid as it sounds, but what I always like to do, and this is like, you know, the stupid people math that I like to do, how much lower can this go versus how much higher can this go? So obviously there is, you know, the ceiling is much higher than the, you know, the bottom. And I don't think we're gonna go to all-time lows. We are already at all-time lows, so this can, you know, make it 10x up, but maybe 2x down. So just make sure you don't get liquidated and wait for the you know, catalyst to come. And this is basically here how I'm positioned. I'm now down a bit on my position. I just made sure that like I have enough margin to not get liquidated anywhere close to, you know where this area here. And I think 144, that's like close to all-time lows. So I'm not very scared about liquidation at this point, and I'm just gonna, you know, ride it and wait. I'm just sitting and waiting now. I'm not gonna scalp anymore. I'm just gonna sit it out and wait, and maybe it makes it 2-3x, but I'm not even looking at this chart anymore every day. And no, I cannot scroll here, but I can press this. Yeah, that's how much I'm down at the moment. A gram also, like, this chart might be very, you know, misleading, but this market does not represent obviously ton and gram the asset well. It just, you know, started off here because hyperliquid listed gram just, I don't know, 1 or 2 weeks ago. Actually, yeah, on the 2nd of July. So yeah, that's what it is when it comes to gram, which also, since I'm already on bullpen now, leads to a good transition of Ansem. I'm down on Ansem, and I actually don't get it. Their indexing is with Twitter is okay, now it works. It's a bit shit. I didn't get any airdrop, I didn't get anything, and now it's like sitting on a 200 million or whatever. I personally have to say, and this is now, since we're already touching Ansem, it was a bit sketchy for me. And like, as much as everyone on the timeline is glazing it and, you know, saying, oh, nice, and the airdrops and whatnot, I have to say, I was actually in the I'm saying wrong things now. I was actually in the Ansem coin before the VAM. So I was looking sometimes on Purgot trades before he became, you know, that famous now. I indirectly had some relation to him for a short moment, as I was talking to another project that he's related to, and just had him on my radar, saw his tweets, saw what he does, and then I saw he was all the time before the vamp with the original coin, posting, bag working the Black Bull. He even changed his PFP, and that then led me, to think, okay, I'm just gonna, throw a couple sol in there. And this was, keep in mind, this was when the Black Bull pre-vamp, I don't know, was below $1 million market cap or around $1 million. It was like very, very low. It was a week or so before the vamp and all this Ansem thing happened. So what happens? I go to sleep, or I don't know what was the time, and then all I see is, what the fuck, there's the vamp. I even tweeted right when this happened, there was like, the vamp was like already at the 10 million market cap. The other one was dying out. I just managed to, sell off at a loss. And then there was like, said, okay, those people get airdrop. The previous, from the previous coin will get airdrop. Just like, Ansem was saying, get behind this one, get behind this one, get behind this one. I sell, I buy the other one. And what is, I didn't get an airdrop. And now think, I bought the other one at like a 300k market cap, 400k, maybe let it be $500,000. I would need to check, but I buy it, I sell it. I bought it back then at around that market cap. Long story short, I didn't get any airdrop. I didn't capture any of this upside, even though I was earlier than all of you guys in all the timeline. So sometimes it can be like this, and I understand, you got a Ponzi in crypto, and there will be people left behind, and I got left behind on that one, and what I'm gonna do about it. I'm not Ansem. I'm not I don't have the power to do anything about it. I'm not gonna get frustrated, but I would have had $1 million plus P&L on this. So obviously it's a bit annoying, but yeah, what should I do? There's nothing I can do. However, that then, brings me to, okay, I'm thinking, okay, I already fumbled there. I, DM'd some people, talked to some people, DM'd the bullpen team to then just at least, get active around the new Ansem coin. And then Ansem was requesting, or like, tweeting about he wants to do some questing tools, whatnot. And then I built actually a very, very cool thing. Let me pull out a video for it. Give me 1 second. I'll just try to find it without opening, too many tabs here that you shouldn't see. Oh wait, is it that one? Okay. Just gotta make sure the audio also is on. Why is that loading? Let me pull this up here. Maybe I had it in some chat. Megapod. There, I got it. There it is.
The higher your chance to. In the trenches, only the bold survive.
There, I got it. There, I got it. Studio. Yeah, so wait, when I'm
Bag work. Perform your quests.
let me maybe just put the mic here so you can at least hear it like this. Oh wait, when I do like this.
Entries to the lot.
Okay. So Now let me switch the screen. Transition. Okay, got this here. So I prepared this. I also actually started doing TikTok. So let me remove this. How can I move here back?
Increase to the lottery. More bag working means more lottery entries. Earn the black.
Okay, so I'm gonna just let it run now and you can watch it.
In the trenches, only the bold survive. Bag work. Perform your quests. Earn entries to.
How can I fucking move the...
In the trenches, only the bold survive. Bag work. Perform your quests. Earn entries to the lottery. More bag working means more lottery entries. Earn the Black Bull's favor. The more you earn the Black Bull's favor, the higher your chance to become a millionaire. Overnight. Over $1 million in Ansem. Up for grabs. Win. Conquer the trenches. The coldest digger breathing. Ansem. Ansem Lottery. Play the bull market. Win together. Go to blackbull.top. In the trenches. Only the bolds.
Yeah, so that's that. Let me just switch back. Transition. Where was that? Okay, transition. Okay. So that's that basically, and yeah, I built a tool, and I think it's very under highlighted. And shout out to Megapod, to whose team I've been also in touch with, and got an intro very fast. They were very supportive, and I think Megapod is something very slept on. But I don't want to drift off. However, long story short, I basically with Fable in 5 parallel sessions overnight, ad roll, bam bam bam, thought okay, let's go. I saw Nico's, shout out to him, Nico's ansem.info page, and I thought okay, there is traction and interest around community tools around it, and I think the quest platform, which also Ansem requested, plus the incentives and the buy pressure and everything that it would do with this, what I built, would be very interesting, and so I built it. So long story short, I basically grinded through. It was like a one night thing, a project called blackbull.top. Actually, I love the domain. I'm probably going to use it for something else since this didn't get traction. However, what I did is I built a Solana adapter for the Megapod lottery, which is like a on-chain permissionless lottery on Base and EVM. And they have like $1 million prize pool. So you can buy entries to this lottery, buy lottery tickets, and one lottery ticket is 1 USDC. What I then did is, how about we do it like this? People perform quests, they bag work, they tweet, they, get impressions. And then they would, for that, basically get subsidized from Ansem or third-party projects, that want to get some quests on, think of Galaxy, but they pay lottery tickets in return. Basically gets to earn lottery tickets. So they perform a quest, they tweet, they get impressions, whatnot. And instead of Ansem having to, create sell pressure for the Ansem coin by airdropping it and people then just cashing it out, this would be such a positive flywheel, because think of it like this. Instead of selling Ansem coin, and also later on he then said himself, I'm not going to sell Ansem coin, I'm going to airdrop people USDC or Sol. But yeah, instead of having to make airdrops like this, he could now go ahead and just buy people lottery tickets. And if they win, so there's a $1 million jackpot, but most likely not going to win the whole pot. There's sub prices like 100K or whatnot, 10K, 5K, whatnot. It would automatically, on the draw of the lottery, basically programmatically swap the USDC and buy Ansem for it. So every time someone wins, it creates buy pressure for the coin, while also for performing the quest and back working, there is literally zero sell pressure involved in this. So I thought that was something very interesting and cool to do. Actually, I should update this here again, talking about I just call it stream, live stream. Let me just write here and Robin Hood, my work routine and more. Okay, so it's actually more accurate. Okay, where was I at? Yeah, basically I built this lottery thing where, like, people then can, post quests, or similar to what Pump Fun had, or Dare Market. You can do something IRL, back working, whatnot. Yeah, I built it. I got the Megapod team to help me with it. I DM'd literally everyone of the bullpen team. No one either left me on read or didn't reply. But I get it. They're busy. They are really busy. Like, it's not like I'm not salty about it or so whatever. It's I have my fullest respect for them. However, like, yeah, I didn't get traction. So eventually, then just what I'm gonna do. It's in the shelf. I can pull it out and host it and put it live anytime. But as of now, this didn't take off. So I spent basically, yeah, for me personally, Ansem was a full-on rug. So I didn't get the airdrop from being in the other coin early before the vamp, and actually just like even losing money on it. Then I buy into the, okay, I got a bit up. I eventually bought into the other one, but yeah, it's far from where I could have been at. And then thinking, okay, I'm anyway gonna go behind it and support it, building a tool and something that literally was requested and would be such a flying wheel, but then no attention behind it, and couldn't get anyone to highlight it. And that's the thing, like the whole math of even the lottery would only just work also if Ansem would have airdropped or like subsidized the tickets, or like there would be people getting involved there, because else the math doesn't add up, because people not gonna pay for their own shit in crypto. That's how it goes. So yeah, that's when it comes to that. Overall, I like bullpen. I was before also doing some sports bets here before I switched to Rainbet. I have to say, I'm not like one of those guys who is sponsored or affiliated by with Rainbet or any of those sports books. However, and this is another interesting take here that I have, is I believe prediction markets are not as good as sports books for sports betting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The only good thing is you can entry and go out of every bet immediately. So you can sell live, buy and sell live odds. That's cool. On some sports books and some events you can do this as well. But the very interesting part, and that's like where the money is made, and like where it just gets exciting with betting. And I'm like not a gambler in that sense that much, but it's the World Cup. It's every 4 years. It just adds some spice to it. Putting some money down. So I like to predict and play around a bit. And for the World Cup, I basically was betting on almost every game of the group stage, and now I just lost a bit interest because I got busy with other things. However, the problem here is what you can see. Am I even sharing my screen still? Yeah. The problem here is that you can just bet on a yes, no, or draw. I'm even surprised that like you can bet on draw still in the elimination phase. However, parlays is where it gets exciting. Making a bet on all those edge cases. Will there be a red card? Will this player get a red card? And then you make those combo bets where like, you make a directional bet. You say, okay, France gonna win, but then I'm gonna add multipliers by saying France gonna win, plus there will be no red card in the first half. There will be no red card in the second half. This player will make below 2 goals or more than 3 goals or whatnot. And all those parlays is where people like to have fun, and what makes it exciting and what glues you to the screen. And in that sense, sports books are just better, and they're just better. Prediction markets, as someone who has played around with prediction markets, someone has played around with sports books are just a better product. And that's it. When we gonna just zoom out of this crypto bubble coming from on chain, coming being biased towards poly market, or like having this more upon us, coming from this niche and bubble where we from. When we zoom out, sports books are just better. Sports books are better for sports betting. That's it. And yeah, I wish prediction markets would add parlays, and that would, I think, be a big game changer. Also, one more thing that I believe would be a big game changer is when you can do combo bets that like stack up the multipliers, as you can do with the bet slips on sports books like Rainbet or whatnot. But yeah, that's something I've been playing around with. And yeah, the Capo Verde game was a good one for me. Where like first I was down, then I sell at loss, and then just buy into a draw. And I think they didn't win, but they had a draw or whatnot. I forgot, it's already a couple of weeks ago now, but that was cool. And yeah, that was quite funny. Let me just switch here again. Transition. Okay. And that brings me, I guess, now to two different things. And at the very end, at the stream, I'm going to talk about Robinhood bots. So make sure to stick around. For now, I just want to I want to scroll the timeline with you guys for a bit. Yeah, here we go. So, transition. Okay. The thing is, I don't know if we are back. It's like such a mixed feeling in the market right now, where like you feel it's bullish again, Robinhood Trenches, Ansem, but on the other side, like I don't know how to feel about the market. It's a bit weird. Just today, actually, Levels.io did a quite interesting one. He was tweeting about, where is it? Man, he's tweeting a lot about being bullish on Ethereum and buying Ethereum. I think that one thing just alone, yeah, he has such motion. Let me CoinGecko. Let me check Ethereum price. Yeah, that's crazy. I think this is this candle here is actually could be related to I think Robinhood as well, but I think Levels.io definitely had his contribution to this here. Yeah, that's interesting. Let me see this. Was that Ritalin? Oh man. I disagree on the Ritalin a bit, because I really do believe in ADHD, and I really do believe it's medication for people with ADHD. And I had like, without going too personal, I had like a very troubled, high school time. I went to, yeah, I went to 13 different high schools, man. I on average spent less than a year at a single high school. I was just, yeah. So I grew up in Germany. I will never get rid of my accent, but the school system there is, it's a funny one, where they have like, okay, just like small anecdote to this. There's like, after elementary school, which is goes on to the 4th grade, so you start going to school in by the age of 6, and then from age of 6 to age of 10 or so, you just basically, elementary school. Then from the 5th grade on, you basically, from the 5th grade to the 12th grade, it's the same school usually. And there's like then three divided types of schools. So there's the Hauptschule, which is like the lower ranking one, Realschule, and then Gymnasium. And I went like this all the time. It got dropped out here. The lower ones is basically based on your evaluation from the elementary school. You get sent to a different school. So like where in the US, for example, there is advanced classes. For example, you have maybe a advanced math class, and you have like basically different classes for the more difficult ones, the more, let's say, extended and more smarter kids doing a bit harder math, and the other ones that are more light. We have like whole separate schools for that. Was moving a lot between them, and I would say the most stable I was like I could never pay attention in school without Ritalin. I was just such a clown and couldn't behave. Yeah, I think it is really. I believe in ADHD and ADHD medication, and that the dopamines in your head just there's a reason for it. I believe so. I disagree on that, but on the rest I agree. Let me see what's else up here on the timeline. Yeah. Monad cards. What's up with that? They have a perplex now. What? Oh, nice. Oh yeah, that was a good one. We're gonna get into Robinhood in a minute. We're gonna get into Robinhood in a minute. That's a very, 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 very interesting one. I'm just gonna follow some people here. So Pawns.family is a launchpad that really popped off yesterday. I think it must be now at the market cap of above $1 million still. I hope, I pray. Dex screener. Let me check Pawns. That's the problem with this fucking this one. Oh no. 3 million. Oh, I fumbled. Oof, I fumbled. Should have just hold. Yeah, I bought very early. And this leads me soon to come to FOMO and other things. But okay. I guess that's a good transition. Let's talk about Robinhood. So one thing I noticed is, for those guys who know me directly or follow me personally, or like stay up to date with what I do, you might know I built a mobile trading app called Funny Money, and the lore behind it is, let me get a bit into the lore. We started out, I don't know, it was October last year or so. And October, November, so Funny Money as a brand and as a, the main reason also the account grew a lot was, so I was working with a chain, I'm not going to mention them, fuck them, for a while, and got a good engagement with them, and then the leadership changed there, and like this project didn't really then turn out to be anything. But however, back then they gave me, there was a large exchange involved into this, and the chain behind it was like, they have a huge treasury, and they are known for basically just their treasury, and the chain that whose exchanges chain this is. And they did campaigns with me and helped me to basically grow the socials for it, so, and also grow the brand for it. So that's why then at some point when that thing didn't work out, and I was like about, okay, what I'm gonna do next, decided I'm gonna take the Funny Money brand, because I just like, this is something very deep for me, and like funny.money is like is a part of me. Is like that domain, you're gonna remember it one way or another. And I decided, okay, I already have that brand, so whatever product I'm gonna do next, I'm not just gonna say, okay, it failed, fucked up, and move on. No, the new thing that I'm gonna do is gonna be branded to this as well, because it would be just a waste of such a beautiful domain, beautiful branding name for a consumer crypto product. It's just a perfect name in my opinion. So then when we decided, okay, we want to build a mobile app, we decided to brand it Funny Money. And that's how it started then. We started around October last year, maybe November. Then a lot of things and delays came, and then App Store listing, threw us back multiple months. And from the time where we started until launch, it was maybe, I don't know, March or April already. So not even too long ago, like 2 months or 3 months ago, not even. And in the meanwhile, we did a lot of things. So we built out the app, and just we're arguing the whole time with Apple. We now like have a small user base, and it's, I think, going steadily sideways. But like we waited also with the market down for the right moments to do amplifications and push our way to the next leg up. But long story short, back then, this was also before FOMO went totally crazy. So FOMO, I think, had like, I mean, they have been around before, but I would say like for social trading and so on, they have not been known until maybe January or February. Before that, the only thing mainly FOMO was known for, I would say, is they just have like a cool Apple Pay on-ramp with Crossmint. And that was like the, I would say the biggest mode feature, or like what was mostly known. And the social graph that it's like became a network effect, and the main feature is the social graph that became a thing not until earlier this year. So funny enough, one thing I noticed is when you build something in whatever category, you will always be called a clone or a copy of whatever is the leader in this category. Since I do a mobile app, now it's FOMO, and people call me a FOMO clone. Before FOMO took off, people called me a moonshot clone. I don't know if people still here around know what moonshot is or moonshot was. They still are a big project. But yeah, funny enough, they called me a moonshot clone back then. So I don't even take it serious when people call you a clone. Because if now someone would, become very viral, and there would be a new FOMO, and something would become 10 times more successful than FOMO, I would be still the exact same thing that I was before, but they would then call me a clone from this, so fuck that shit. However, long story short, of course, out of curiosity, and you check out what other people in the market do, I was looking into FOMO, and like I really, and that was like around the time where like the social graph became more interesting, and like I'm personally also a guy, I like to hack around. I like to be a bit hacky, and what means hack? It's not. Yeah, maybe let's get into that another time. But like I'm a guy who likes to see edge and explore, and Let me just check the comments if there's some comments here. I first need to mute this. I just want to see if there's some comments. Someone commented. Is there comments here? No. Okay. But okay, where was I at? So what I was saying, I was playing around, and I, have like a past in, like doing, I did like bot farms in the past. So long time ago, like without going too deep into that, I was like probably one of the, I was definitely up there when it comes to, sibling and whatnot, layer zero and whatnot, and the Ruslan memes and stuff. And yeah, I could have been called that. And so for that reason, I already had previously a bigger setup when it comes to doing looking into projects from a deeper technical side. And at that time, what we did was we looked into FOMO and saw, okay, man, I want to like see what those people trade, but I don't want to be glued to that app. And that was like long before the web UI came out. With the web UI, obviously the game changed. And I cannot fucking find the wallet addresses of the people. And that was like one thing. And me then, I don't know, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., sitting there, don't seeing the wallet addresses. This was something that was just bugging me. And it just came out of like, it just bugs me and I'm on Adderall. So what I do is I now want to have a way to get all those fucking wallet addresses. And that was then just basically, hunting me. And I was thinking, okay, at that time also for my app, and I don't call it, they are after all on-chain Solana users, and I just wanted to, build a feature that would give some people, copy trading in Intel, the same way that all the, big terminals have, labels. You can already go now on Axiom and see whose FOMO wallet is from who, and or Front Run Pro or whatnot. However, like I wanted to basically have an aggregated leaderboard. So I thought this would also be helpful for my app to get the wallet addresses, because then I could, based on that, calculate an on-chain leaderboard from all across Solana. This plus, the urge of trying to, for my own sake, copy trade and, find an edge in the market with bots and whatnot. And this is always something I've been, excited to do. I jumped deep into the, trenches there. Actually, let me transition here again. I jumped deep into the trenches there. So what I then did was, I got a, and this was at that time not just FOMO, it was also Vector. So we looked at Vector, we looked at, Vector and FOMO were the main ones, I think. Yeah, just those two. But like, we then basically got jailbroken phones. Like we jailbreak phones to, get root access on the phones, see, catch all the communications, API requests and whatnot and everything, and to get a reliable way to get all the wallets. And at first, what happened was it worked smooth, because you technically can also manually, like a stupid guy, look up, the wallet addresses. You can make a trade, or you can go and send someone $1 on FOMO or whatnot, and then try to, your own wallet address, to who did I send it, and then kind of like reverse engineer like this. But that's, I have like higher standards to myself when it comes to such things, so I did it the proper way. We had some jailbroken phones, man. It looked like a Chinese bot farm. My office looked like, phones, jailbroken Android phones around. And then we had like mid-end proxy from which we, did the, without going too deep into the technical details. That was like probably February or so, around that time. And then funny enough, at some point we noticed, okay, they are onto us. So like, without like, if someone from the FOMO team sees it here, love to you guys, shout out. We had a funny battle in January or so. So there was like a lot of traffic they had even the banner on traffic. And I know for a fact, I heavily contributed to this, because I was just like, I had like several phones laying around and, basically just like, spamming their, endpoints. but without, you know, trying to, this was just like, you know, market research or whatnot you want to say, like there was no bad intent in doing this. I mean, this is just like, you know, the markets, and you want to play around and find the edge. Long story short, I then noticed, okay, they react on what I do. So I thought, okay, man, there's, and this is like something that excites me very about crypto, and this will also bring me later to the opportunity that I found on Robinhood, which about which I also made a YouTube video. It is like, you think, you know, markets are efficient. You can do things. Markets are not efficient. I'm 100% sure at some point I was probably in the whole world of 8 billion people in this world, and like millions of people in crypto. I this is something that excites me every time. I feel like, man, there's no one doing what I do right now in the world. Like, you know, there's 10,000s of people using things, you know, trying to find the edge, and I'm onto something. And I had this multiple times already, and I was early to many things, I would say. I'm doing something, no one does it. And I'm just thinking, holy fuck, like, how come, you know, there's not like, you know, some sophisticated quant firms or whatnot with, you know, their whole teams that, like, you know, probably 10 times smarter than me, and how come they don't see what I do, or like do the same things that I do but 10 times better? Or like, you know, some Russian bot farms, why they not up to it yet? Yeah, and I don't know. I felt I was early, and then doubled down on it, and we had like a whole system then to you know, get wallet addresses, get the social graphs, and you know, get the whole basically the whole, you know, everything FOMO has with deep insight, the wallet addresses. And then I realized, okay, at some point one thing they did was, first of all, like, I got locked out of my sessions and whatnot, and they added some, you know, patches, obviously. Also, one thing, I don't know if I should talk about this, but yeah, maybe I can just quickly mention, there was around the time when Nietzsche and Penguin happened and White Whale, and like, I think this was like when the, what was this Austrian guy's name with who did OpenClaw, like when, you know, the OpenClaw coins on base happened. It was still winter. I just remember, because it was fucking cold and dark the whole time where I was. I guess January, February, must have been before March. There was like around that time where basically I was able to front run a lot of people, and like, you know, whenever someone would post a thesis before it lands on the front end, I would get a trade in. That was quite cool, quite, yeah, like there was alpha there and money to be made there. Plus there was also the thing with all the intel that comes from it, all the wallet addresses, and, you know, clustering back to side wallets, seeing from where it was funded, and like there was like definitely some alpha in this. And also into, you know, yeah, I can maybe just, that's the nice thing for the 17 people watching the stream, you know, you get this alpha. And when there would be more people, I wouldn't say it now, but since it's just this amount, yeah, even front running push notifications. So meaning, you know, you see the trade coming, and meaning you see the trade before it would pop up on the front end, or like before, you know, people get their notifications on their phone, I would already have my trade in. So meaning, who was big at that time or who blew off at that time? There was this guy called, he had this like basket player PFP, IC dot whatever. There was this one guy who blew off for a short while. Then Change blew off, and Remus blew off. I think this was the White Whale, Nietzsche and Penguin time. Then all the Moldbot and whatnot, OpenClaw coins. There was that time, and whenever they would make a trade, and there's all those people then aping and watching, and, you know, getting push notifications, and, you know, trying to get to their quick fills in, I would be already in, and had, you know, alpha there. So there was a good time for this. There was like definitely alpha there and money to be made there. And where was I at else? Yeah, basically that's what I first then stumbled upon. But the problem then was later, okay, that's like quite high maintenance, all the phones, all the, all this shit. And I also, I'm not like, some uh, you know, incel who has nothing better to do than, jerking off other apps data the whole day. It was also at some point, it's just, I lost the fun in doing it. And I, finally managed to get my own app into the App Store. So focus then on that. My main goal also, since I did this, was like convert it into other Intel things that I could use for my users, which is like aggregated all-in-one leaderboards. So FOMO had their leaderboards, but there's definitely people on chain, and there's definitely wallets on chain which are not on Robin, not what I said not already, that are not on FOMO, that are more profitable even, and that are, have higher win rates, and that are, they have also higher P&Ls, but they just don't have a, account with the social following. They're just like, wallets on chain. And what I was thinking is, okay, I built this whole indexing thing where I would, get all the, P&Ls from all the wallets on all the coins, and then aggregate it. So I get all the KOL scan users and the KOL scan leaderboard. I get the FOMO scan, the FOMO leaderboard, aggregate it all into one, and then basically make one big, and also Solana, and basically say this is the Solana leaderboard. No matter from where you trade, what front end, the best people on Solana, period. And that was my goal at that time. Was too much work, and also, like, I would say, and the big learning for me, don't over engineer things. Focus on distribution first, because you can have all those beautiful complicated things. Also with my charting system that I built, I would say is best in crypto, but it's then very, why all this indexing and all this infra cost for, you don't even have the app live yet, or you maybe just have 20, 30, 40, 50 people using it. So for that reason, became a bit more down to the fundamentals. And at that point, I didn't care much. Months moved on. And now coming to the, more interesting part is when the FOMO Web UI came out. So this was a big game changer, because now I would not rely on phone sessions, mobile sessions for the getting the insights there, and that was a big game changer. And I played around with a couple different methods of it. I also built a tool called FOMOscan.sh if you want to check it out. But also then, like, the problem is in general with what people may be calling scraping or other forms of that, is it is a bit unreliable, especially with, like, when you need those authenticated sessions in there, logs out, Cloudflare, whatnot. And the maintenance overhead of it was like, if I would not, like, do 5 different things at the same time, or, like, be busy with other things, it would be something, to check out or to, look into. But, with the overhead, it was nothing I was interested in. So moved on. However, then I thought, and that's what I'm going to get into now, is, and what I've built is this here. I'm going to share my screen. Let me just blur this. Okay. So let me get, how can I share my screen? Is my, okay. So let me just, more, okay, I just updated the banner. So let me then transition now. Okay, so I have built this thing here, which you should be able to see now. And something I think is like, for just because after all, my genuine biggest motivation is build things that people care about and people want to use. And I have been asked ever since I did this whole FOMO thing a lot, like so many people reached out, and there was such a demand in it, and I never could provide a reliable solution to it, or like at least this is not my full-time job. I have a life and things to do. So I thought, okay, just give people something they can use themselves, and I just do it one-off and with less overhead. And that's basically that here. So I think you can now see it is I built like similar to FrontRun Pro. So if you use FrontRun.pro on the Chrome extension on Twitter with all the labels, I basically build a labeling system for FOMO. So the wallets are on chain, they are public, on a public blockchain. If they don't decide to have it on their UI, okay, makes sense. But there's maybe more sophisticated traders who care about such things, and there is, because many people ask me. So I built basically this tool here that in the banner section that anyway no one uses, just displays it here. I think it's a good place for placing things, and it's basically a Chrome extension that looks like this. You can hide it, you can show it, and would then basically always display you the wallet addresses of those people. So that's basically what I did here. You can go to any profile and it will always show you the wallet addresses and from everyone. And yeah, that's basically what I did. I'm gonna release it at some point. I'm gonna keep you posted, and that's, I think, an interesting thing here to look into. Which brings me to the final part of the video, I guess, and that is, let me just pull it out. Oh, what did I do here? me just check. It was a front rack, so interesting. Behind that one, and what I'm gonna do about it. I'm you know, I'm not Sam. I'm not head, you know, alpha there. So there was a good time. Okay. All good. All good. Like I would say in the big, or like the Black Bull. That's the problem. No one talks to me. Is it now audible? I'm not Sam. I'm not head, you know, alpha there. So there was a good time. Okay. All good. Okay. Yeah, since the audio was not working, I'm just gonna give a quick rundown again. So, long story short, front run, Robinhood trades. I'm just, you know, if you really care about this, check out my YouTube video. You can go on 0x Valerio on my YouTube channel and find a full explanation of that. There's alpha in there, and like, you know, I'm just gonna point in the right direction and you can take it from there. I think that's, you know, the way to go here, basically. And one more thing I want to highlight is something that's coming up soon is I will now, since the market's getting warmer and you know spending resources makes sense again and doing activations makes sense, I will do a trading challenge on I'm gonna do a trading challenge on Funny Money for trading Robinhood coins. And let me just share my screen for this. So let me just share my screen for this. So, and that's basically the final thing now for today. There will be a $50,000 up for grab trading challenge on Funny Money starting soon. I'm gonna, you know, the marketing materials and the campaign launch video and so on will be posted in the next couple of days. And this will be very, very exciting. And I'm very excited now I have the web version coming out. Like I was really grinding out, making the most out of, you know, Fable for the next couple of days and for the last couple of days before it goes to credit-based pricing, to just throw out as much stuff as possible. And we have campaigns, we have, you know, money up for grabs and alpha in there. And there will be, you know, the direction we're going now is we don't want to be a social trading app, you know, fuck that. We want to be the alpha trading app where, you know, it's just a suite of casual tools. So I want to go somewhere where I'm neither FOMO, I'm neither somewhere, you know, super casual and super, you know, don't caring about the, you know, bad fills, bad, you know, trading execution. But I also on the other side don't want to be a trading terminal with Axiom, those type of things, because in neither of those directions I would be competitive. I just want to be your suite of, you know, you want to set up some snipes, some copy trades, some things, you know, tweak things, sliders here and there, you know, get set up. That's where I feel that's something I am excited for using myself, and I'm basically building this to use it myself. And I think that's, you know, the best way to set up also other people for success when it comes to, you know, finding an edge in trading, but on a casual way without, you know, all the overheads of dealing with and mid curving, you know, 10 different setups with terminals, you know, there's like just too much there. So it will be like a condensed suite of, you know, making copy trades, making, you know, simple trades and perps and so on. There's so many places to do it, and I feel like the only way to be competitive there is just like, you know, incentives. But you know, I'm not one of those big guys with big incentives. 50k putting out for incentives is, you know, for me already a move. So I hope you guys will have a blast with it. And yeah, that's basically it for today. One last thing is maybe what I personally wanted to touch on is my personal you know, work routine. So let me just put this down, my productive routine. So how do I manage to, you know, do a lot of things at the same time? And that's basically, let me move it here. You need, and that's what I do, AI stack. You need conductor. Check it out, conductor. You need, you know, marketing stack. You need, I personally use Higgsfield, with which helps me for doing all the, you know, different things when it comes to, you know, content, you know, marketing materials, marketing materials, marketing assets, video clipping, and not just Higgsfield. CapCut as well. With AI. So that's something that both of those do. Then what else do we need? Or what else do I use? Then also typefully and buffer. That's for content pipeline. So actually, let me do like this. Buffer. Actually, I should do it the other way around. Video clipping, marketing assets, then content pipeline, content generation and polishing. And so those are basically the things that you need and that I do. Content pipeline, and for that I use Higgsfield. Let me just move all this shit here away. Higgsfield is basically a Higgs field then actually Higgs field should come in the middle because it's the most important one of all. Higgs field, then content generation, also Higgs field, or like, you know, recordings like this, doing streams. Then content pipeline is mostly, you know, typefully and buffer. For Twitter, for other things, YouTube and TikTok, that's the other channels that I have. And I'm just gonna, you know, keep it very simple. So what I basically do is, let me go here. What I basically do is no, that's basically, you know, the stack that you need. And also for streaming, but I think you don't need Restream. You can use whatever you want. I use Restream for streaming on multiple platforms at the same time. But that's basically, you know, the thing here that I use for, you know, my marketing stack. And that's like, you know, how you can, you know, pull things off as, you know, with a small team. You can get very great, you know, branding assets, whatnot, done with Higgs field. So to show you guys, what I mean by that is I can go on Higgs field and basically add my you know, branding assets here from what I you know, have in mind for funny money, and or like, you know, for a campaign, and it just does it for me. And like, you know, I don't gotta pay some editor or whatnot. You can just, you know, do things yourself here. Well, what else can I maybe show? Yeah, there was like something for, you know, I also got a very cool launch video, but like I'm gonna wait until I share this for, you know, the Chrome extension and stuff. You can just do it with a couple prompts, or you even can connect it with MCP and get a lot of things out of it very, very easily. So that's what I do here. And also for the stream overlays that I use right now, I basically had like give it some examples from other streamers. Shout out to Ansem, TBPN, and, you know, give it to it, and it prepares me those beautiful stream overlay that I use right now. Yeah, that's basically the stack there. Also for, you know, the tutorial, basically for the YouTube video, that's how I just got it. I just made a picture of myself. Hey, make a look at this. Then you can add here. It's called use employee, and they have like actually maybe I should go on here, AI employees. Yeah, you can use AI employees, and here you can add a clipper that will then just, you know, cut it up. You know, obviously it's expensive, but it's, you know, you pay the premium that you can do it all yourself. You know, you pay for the convenience of not having, you know, people to manage to do this. While obviously it would be more nice to have like someone to, you know, just say do it. But like, you know, there's this thing called AI employees, which I use now. And you know, this shit is fucking expensive. You're also still gonna pay 1,000 per month for this shit. But you know, at the convenience of just, you know, saying do it, and it does it with quite good quality. So that's that where I'm at here. So that's Higgsfield. CapCut is also quite good now at doing clipping. I think the days of, you know, unless you have a good Clipper account, which also gives you the distribution, I'm not too sure about, you know, clipping in that sense that much anymore. You can build your own pipelines with this. So that's basically how you can, you know, get quite a lot of things done by yourself. And when it comes to the AI stack, man, Conductor is the game. I also have another laptop here, which I have another, you know, I basically have my computer here. Then I have I have multiple sessions of Conductor and multiple, you know, Mac subscriptions, because that's how you're going to be productive. Also, the day of devs is that as well. So what you're going to need here is, it depends really here. And I think the marketing stack is more important than the AI, you know, development stack. But it's basically just going to be mostly Conductor. I don't want to do a tutorial on Conductor now, because I would just, you know, show too much technical insights from the project that I feel maybe should not be highlighted, or like that's, you know, you don't got to see the technicalities. But basically it's something that you can connect with your AI subscriptions, and it's, you know, subscription based from the subscription credits, not from the credit based token cost, you know. So it's much cheaper. You get still the subsidy out of it, and that's really the game here. Ideally, you want to set up also a good QA pipeline. What do I mean by QA pipeline? By QA pipeline, I mean QA means quality assessment, for those who don't know. Quality assessment. You basically want to have your agents, everything, you know, to be ready for production, and then have like a staging environment where, like, you say, hey, get everything done, merge everything to the staging branch, and then, you know, open the simulator for me to let me test the app. Or like when you have the simulator locally connected to your phone, you can test on your phone directly. For web, it's even easier, and you can do a lot of things yourself like this. And yeah, I just pushed another update. It actually is, oh, look at this. And that's how it looks like when you get the update on iOS on the App Store. Ready for distribution. So it then says ready for distribution. My app got ready for distribution now. And the nice thing is, Apple is quite cool with this. So every time you have a new update, they give you like those prepared, you know, type of you know, banners that you can use for socials to tweet. There's directly in the App Store Connect app. And yeah, it's live now. Actually, I might make a Telegram announcement small for this. So yeah, app is live now with the new update. That includes already the announcements for the campaign that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, that's basically just, you need a good QA pipeline. Just let the agent do it all and have one final manual gate before production that you review. I'm just gonna make this smaller here. What the fuck? That's, you know, but I don't want to tell people what to do with AI development. I'm not, you know, that's not my, you know, I'm not that type of content creator for this, but that's, you know, I would say the most important thing here. And else, for other things, I'm not too bullish on AI trading yet. I think, yeah, okay, cool, nice. It is like more of like a companion, maybe to remind you of your theses and like, you know, be self-critical, but like I think deterministic, you know, bots are still the way, because, you know, it's just like something psychological. Maybe there's an edge in it, but for, you know, analysis and analytics and let me drink something. But, you know, it's something psychological. Like I want to, you know, make call my own shots, you know. And when I lose money, it better be my fault, not AI's fault. I used that. I was really like raw dog. I was just like taking screenshots of like 5-minute charts, putting that into AI, and you know, doing perps on Bybit with this. Did millions in volume like this, and eventually lost. Like that's retarded stuff. Better, you know, the only, like I think you always gotta stick to what worked for you, and for me it worked more doing, you know, bots finding an edge and exploiting the edge. That was always, you know, what worked for me best. But yeah, I guess that's interesting here for you to know. Else, I covered my routine now. I covered talking to you guys about the campaigns, where it was the campaign banner here. So one more time, there will be a campaign. You know, stay tuned. Put the notifications on Funny Money. There will be some drops and some more updates, and I think that's basically it. And one more time for the clip. 50K campaign. Download Funny Money. Earn and trade on Robinhood. I'm also just gonna blend in here now the QR code. So yeah, that's basically this. You know, go ahead and there's a campaign, 50K in prices. Go and download. It will go live soon, so you gotta stay tuned, and you will have a benefit from it. So from being early onto it, to have an edge over others in the price pool. So the details for the campaign will be all inside the app. The criterias, everything. To gotta know it, you gotta download the app and check out this QR code right here in the top left corner to download the app. And that's basically it for the live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Man, we have been yapping around now for a long time. I think this was like a 1.5 hour live stream, man. Was good, and I'm back. I'm gonna do this more often. So thank you guys, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.